betting, shall we? Overs, unders, game one tonight. JJ, I'll start with you. Over, under, Klay Thompson, 3.5 threes.
I'm sticking with the unders on all these. I'm sticking with the unders. I think he gets close to it. I like Klay Thompson hitting 3 threes tonight, but he's not getting 4.
No? Oh, come on.
Not 3.5.
Okay, Vince Carter with us. Over, under, Draymond Green, 1.5 steals.
I say over. I think he's going to get 2 steals, actually. So, hey, that half matters.
And then Mr.
That's why they set it at a half, Vince, because it makes you think about it.
Exactly.
And then Mr. Under over here.
Exactly.
Over, under, Steph Curry, 27.5 points.
I'm going under. I think Steph has a good night tonight. He's going to make some threes. I think he ends up with 26 or 27.
26 or 27. Why don't you see him going off for 30, 35, proving a point, saying this is. We're taking this.
When I think about this game, look, game one is you're always feeling teams out a little bit, and you're getting a sense of the rhythm and the cadence of the series. But I do think tonight's going to be one of those 94-89 games. And I've been wrong before, Vince. I've been wrong before, but I do think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I've been wrong before. Like once.
But JJ,
ahead,
I somewhat agree with you. I think they're going to be in low hundreds, though, because it's going to be a defensive game. And, obviously the defenses are predicated on stopping Tatum and Curry and look for some other guys to have big nights as well. So that's going to bring those numbers down. So I'm with you, JJ.
Okay, top 2 teams in defensive efficiency, so it makes sense. But let's talk about Curry, because if he's only scoring 26, 27, and I can't even believe I'm saying only, but still, if he's scoring that much, it may seem to reason that somebody else steps up and has a 30-point game. So can the Warriors win if he isn't the leading scorer?
They can, because their defense is so good. And we talked in the opening hour about both of these defense being the top 2 defense in the league. What Steph does besides score is he opens up things for his teammate. One of the things that's going to be interesting in this series, when they go to pick and roll, those Celtics don't have weak defenders. They don't have to trap like the Mavs did, like the Nuggets did. So all of that 4-on-3 action on the backside that opens things up for Klay and Wiggins and Draymond Green, that's not going to be there as much in this series like it was in prior series in this year's playoff run.
Oh, that's going to be good to look for everybody on defense. Vince, weigh in on this one. If Curry isn't going for 30 or going for 35 or something like that, how does that end up playing out?
The beautiful thing about the Golden State Warriors, they have another guy on there that's very capable of hitting 30 and maybe 60 points in a game in Klay Thompson with his ability to shoot the ball. So, that is a luxury that the Golden State Warriors have. And they spread the wealth. I mean, you can get some and let's not forget to mention Jordan Poole as well, who's very capable of going off having a big night as well. So they have other guys that are very capable and dynamic scorers if Steph Curry is not having the 30-point or 27.5-point night that we said he won't get.
Vince, I talk about this all the time, and that's just Draymond Green's importance to the Golden State Warriors offense. So he's not the guy that's going to give you 30 in a game, but his pace, the way he swings the ball, a simple swing pass, his DHOs going to dribble handoff side to side after a defensive rebound, after a steal, creating pace, creating transition threes. You are not going to score efficiently if in the half court you are staring down this Boston Celtics defense. You've got to move them side to side, and Draymond is the catalyst and the fulcrum for that in the half court.
Go ahead, Vince.
And JJ, I want to add to that. I want to add to that is when Draymond Green gets the rebound and just blasts it out and starts to break, that's when they're at their best as well. It reminds me of Al Horford when he played for the Hawks. That used to cause problems because your big is trying to rebound, and now it's on your point guard to stop the ball when it's a big, and he's not now getting to the shooters, which now your center, your 5-man, yes, Robert Williams is very athletic and agile, can get up and down the court, but he's going to be late to the party, and that's opening up shots. So when Draymond is getting the rebound, blasting it out, like you said, dribble handoffs, or pass aheads and all of these things, and he screens with pace. It's not like he's taking his time. He screens with pace, which allows Steph that little window, or Klay that little window they need to get shots off.
I love that you guys are talking about this because people tonight watching are going to be looking for all the little things that Draymond Green is doing to help this team win. Now, the other side of this is the Celtics. And you look at Jason Tatum. Tonight's his first NBA Finals appearance in his career. Tatum's coming off winning that inaugural Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals MVP, that 26-point performance to lead his Celtics past the Heat in Game 7. But, JJ, I think people still have a lot of concerns with Jason Tatum late in games. And a lot of people highlighted Marcus Smart taking the final 5 shots, which seemed really odd considering that the superstar on this team is Jason Tatum. There's the shot chart. Final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, the entire postseason, Smart has more. Can the Celtics win without Tatum having the ball in his hands late in these games and succeeding?
Well, it's not just shooting the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's going to face multiple defenders, and whether that's as a straight trap or a defender in the gap, so he's going to have to make the right play over and over again. And in the aggregate, he's been really good in the final 3 minutes during this playoffs. In the Miami series, he struggled a little bit. He was 1 for 5. The biggest thing with him is taking care of the basketball, and it goes the same way for Jaylen Brown. When the Celtics struggles, those guys have high turnover games. Their defense is good enough to withstand off shooting nights. No defense is good enough to withstand high turnover nights.
So even if he's not hitting a lot of shots late game, as long as he's not turning it over, you think they have a good chance?
They have a good chance. He's got to hit shots late games. He's got to take shots late games. He's got to create for other people. He's got to be the best player on the floor for the Celtics for them to win this series. There's no question.
And so, Vince, what do you think they need from Tatum from your perspective late in games? Go ahead.
An aggressive mentality late game, and that's just what it is. I think when he's aggressive, he's in the mindset of I'm going to get downhill to get the best possible shot for myself or someone else. When he's a little passive, you see in those trapping situations, he was standing straight up. When you're standing straight up, I mean that's when you get your turnovers. JJ, you remember this coach Stan Van Gundy used to yell at us all the time: is don't stand straight up in double teams. You want to be in a 3-point stance or in a basketball stance and getting rid of the ball. You're laughing because you know I'm right, JJ.
Well,
that's why
you're laughing because you're bringing up PTSD for me. You're laughing. I mean, no one has ever yelled at me more than Stan Van Gundy. So
I love
thank you for that.
Stan Van
Bringing
Gundy,
a flood of memories, a flood of emotions. Thank you for that, Vince.
I love the mere thought of Van Gundy yelling at you guys.
Oh, I mean, but he yells at everybody.
Yeah, I was right there with him.
It wasn't just I wasn't the only target.
There was nobody singled out.
Even you
We were
guys.
all singled out. It just didn't matter.
So, guys, bringing this back then, as we look at this, when you look at Jason Tatum, you're talking about cutting the turnovers. You're talking about being aggressive. But, JJ, if Jason Tatum comes in this game and starts passing up shots late game, and again, I know it's to try to move the ball around, find the best shot. Is that what you want to see from him if the game is on the line and it's tight? Or do you want to see him saying, I'm taking over? I know it's not zero-sum, but
Vince said the word aggressive. And what that means is reading and thinking the game. No player has done that better in this generation than LeBron James. And LeBron always makes the right play. Sometimes that's a step back 3. Sometimes that's getting in the paint. Sometimes that's reading the double team and making the quick pass, which creates that downhill effect and leads to an open shot. So as much as it is aggressiveness, it's also reading and thinking the game. When he gets in trouble is when he puts his head down and gets in the paint with multiple defenders and no real plan. So it's got to be thinking prior to actually making the move. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so if you're doing that, if you're taking over, you got to have a plan and you got to make the right play. Always critical. All right, coming.